Hello and welcome to your first lesson from the Gentleman's Guide to Player Unknown's Battlegrounds. These rules to live by will not only help you become a more efficient and agreeable teammate, but they will also help pave your way to many a delicious chicken dinner. The first task, upon entering a game lobby for a scholarly gentleman, is to demean and demoralize your competition. Your parents never loved you.
What? That may be true, but the only love I need is the love from Jesus.
The only love I need is the love your dad gives me every night when I'm sucking his dick.
Wait, that's where he's been all these years? Sucking you off? Oh, man.
Well, at first, it may seem ungentlemanly to lower yourself with common snark and slander. You will soon realize this tactic not only helps boost your confidence, but may in turn lower that of your opponents, giving you the edge that a quieter and less boastful man may never achieve. Look at you. I see the face of a loser. Hey, you better run away.
African American.
You better run it. What? Who the fuck? Now that you have verbally doused the candle of hope in your neighbor's eyes, it is time for the next rule. Always drop with your team. Unless some catastrophic ailment befalls you or a mighty heft of wind knocks you off course, dropping with your team is of utmost importance. Should you run into any early roustabouts and find yourself in need of aid, the odd man out is powerless to assist his allies. Even worse, he who strays blank-eyed from his compatriots is at risk of running into unsavory characters himself, depriving his confederates of a full squad. This ties in closely with the third rule. Stay with the pack. Any opportunity you give to cut yourself off from your team in a time of need is entirely on your shoulders, much like dropping wide. If you are in a position of no help, or get yourself mugged down a dark alleyway alone, you have compromised your companion's chances of feasting, and that is unforgivable. Staying in formation is also important as it allows you to properly address targets in tandem and with extreme vigor. Rule 4 should be noted, however, which is to always keep your spacing. Without proper spacing, a single explosion, divine or otherwise, could shake the very foundation of your combined battle efforts, while any bandits seeking to waylay your party have the advantage of being able to strike multiple targets in succession with rapid fire. Tenet 5 of gentlemanly warfare is that upon target acquisition, one should first, before firing, call out the bearing of which your companions should then direct their attention.
I see people. I see people.
Are they alive or are they dead?
They're alive.
Call out a bearing, call out a bearing, call out a bearing.
150.
Failure to do so while firing wildly into their midst may cause confusion among your ranks and reduce the chances they will be able to properly address the situation. You do not need to be exact. A general direction is more than enough to suffice. As the battle is now well underway and you are heartily engaged in projectile warfare, it would be prudent to note that the 6th guideline is to sweep your sectors even during combat. As tempting as it is to focus on that task ahead of you, at any moment a ruffian could abscond behind and cause much unneeded duress. You do not need to assign directions to scan. However, it would be prudent for every member to occasionally glance over their shoulder and make sure there are no stragglers around planning to cause trouble. When you inevitably find yourself in a situation where one of your companions has fallen to their wounds in combat, You can use smoke grenades to provide temporary visual soft cover, to aid in obscuring your efforts to get them back in tip-top fighting shape. Reviving a fallen teammate can easily be the difference between you both laying down the knife and fork or rallying forth and conquering your enemies. Conversely, and one of the least gentlemanly tactics on this list is that the moment you have floored your dastardly foe, unless you remain under ongoing fire, it is prudent to promptly finish them off and remove them from the game. If you do not, they may become a return threat upon being rescued, the bane to your dinner. While I hope that you have learned how to properly conduct yourself somewhat as a gentleman with this guide, we still have much more ground to cover moving forward. The next lesson will be on looting and vehicular conduct. For now, however, you are dismissed.
I
don't want to be here anymore. This is one of the worst rounds yet, and we haven't even seen anybody.